Hey y'all, well today on the channel we got thru-hikers that are out there on the trail, how things are going to them. We got lots of news coming from the trail. We got some trail fest coming up. We got the trails on fire. We just got a lot of stuff. Let's go ahead and dive right in. So the first thru-hiker we got is Fancy Pants. So her and her family of monkey crew who are just full of stuffings. They are out there on the trail. They're having a great time. She checks in this week.
Hey Ramdino, Fancy Pants and the Monkey Crew checking in with our weekly update. Coming out of Hot Springs, the trail was actually in great condition. There may have been an occasional blowdown here or there, but for the most part, it's clear. And we have celebrated a couple of milestones this week. The first one is 700 miles on the Bama to Baxter. And the second one, which we just celebrated today, is 300 on the AT. So pretty happy about that. Still enjoying things a lot and have kind of been hiking with two other people, Four Squares and Squaretail. So we have a little bit of a timely thing going on for the time being. Enjoying that. And anyways, we're headed to Irwin. All is good in our world. Thanks for what you do, Rambino.
Thanks for that great update. She always gives us some good updates about trail conditions and how things are doing with her. Congrats on your 700 miles from Bama to Baxter tour, and then on your 300 on the actual AT. That's awesome, Fancy Pants. So looking forward to your continual updates that we got out there. It's been a minute since Demi Moore checked in, but he decided to say hey and sends in his update. So he started to push out of Shenandoah National Park. He's going to be passing the 900 mile mark. Did that a couple days ago. Says he's still feeling healthy, making good miles. Says he's met nothing but amazing people on the trail, and I hear that from everybody out there. Hiker, hostel owners, trail angels, shuttles, all of it. He is just loving that community. Says he is hiking with spring, so the forest is coming alive, and that's some of my really favorite times is wake up in the morning just before sunrise and hear the forest coming alive, hear the birds chirping and everything. And yeah, so those are some really neat times out there. He also said, though, along with that comes the bugs. So bugs are starting, which includes ticks. So watch out for those ticks. There are some tick diseases that can take you off trail. And then also he says he started swapping out his winter layers for summer layers. Need to be careful you don't do that too quick, because we'll turn around and have a cold front come through here and you got 20-degree night and you are not prepared for that. So think about that before you swap out your winter layers. And then we got Tortoise and Hair. They made it to the Hot Springs and they had about several days that they were sick there on the trail. And so they had to take like 6 zeros or something. So she got it first, and then I think he got it next. And so don't know if it was the norovirus or not, but if it ran for 3 days, it could have been. They did say that coming through the Smokies, the blowdowns there north of Newfound Gap, from Peck's Corner to Cosby Knob to Davenport Gap, those have been taken care of. Few that you have to, that are new, that you kind of have to work around. But for the most sake, they have been taken care of. They said Hot Springs is amazing. It's recovering. Vinyl Pies is open. That's the pizza place there. So congratulations to those girls that got that place open. I'm looking forward to getting back up there and having some of that pie. The Kentucky Gas Boys, Papa Bear, and Nature Beast, they are moving quickly through Shenandoah National Park, and they are currently at Nobo 950 on day 953. So that's awesome. They are on pace to finish by July 5th. One of the gas boys that's with them, he's got to get back to school, so they got to be done by July 5th. Blue Dean, he checks in with this update and some great advice on the detour at Iron Mountain Gap. Take it away.
Hey there, Ramdino. This is Marcus, aka Blue Jeans. Little trail update here. Just short of mile 300 today, and we had a super cold night. I was at the Little Laura shelter last night, and we were 5 people. Was together there with 62 Sunny D and Gretel, another German hiking on the AT this year, and it was cold. As you can see in the trees here, there's still ice. Just wanted to check in with you, really enjoying the journey. It was nice to spend a day in hot springs, and all of you stay warm out there. It's definitely not warm. Happy trails and happy hiking.
In his text to me, he said the detour is mainly fine and kind of beautiful, but he says the hill you're supposed to climb there has to be the steepest on the AT that he has encountered yet. So that's interesting. Even steeper than down there right before you get to Fontana there at what they call Jacob's Ladder. He said water's plentiful and on that detour, particularly there at the beginning where it goes across some creeks. He did say there's a great camping spot at a fork waterfall there, which is a Google landmark halfway through the detour. I had some folks earlier that were asking me if there's any camping spots on the detour, so there's your answer to that. Dutch, he reports in from the Shanties.
Hey Ramdino, this is Dutch at Where is Dutch. As you may remember, I started at Springer on February 1st, and I'm now just exiting the Shenandoahs. I want to give you a quick update on the waysides. Loft Mountain Camp Store and Wayside were closed when I went through a couple days ago. The Big Meadows Wayside is open, but the grill is closed until April 25th. Skyland is open. The restaurant is wonderful. I highly recommend it. And Elk Wallow, the way station, is open, but the grill is closed until May 2nd. So if you're a hungry hiker, plan accordingly. Anyway, Dutch is out. Talk to you later, Ramdino, and thanks a lot for everything you do. Bye.
And he is now past the halfway point. So the Shanties was about a week ago, maybe 8 days ago, when he sent that in. But he is now past the halfway point. So he is making great time. And in Lusious, he is crossed over into New York, there at the Warwick Theater, and he sends in his update from New Jersey.
Hello Ramdino, Lusious here from High Point, New Jersey. Beautiful morning, and I have it under good authority that this is where Rocksylvania is supposed to end, and I can expect a little bit of smooth trail ahead. I hope that is true, and I'll talk to you again next time. Thanks for everything you do.
And he took in a movie there at the Warwick Theater, and that is his tent there.
That is the USS North Carolina. That is a construction site. And this is a nice flat cruisy trail in coastal North Carolina. And whether you're here, you're busting it out there on the job, or you're out in the sun on some of our historic places here, anywhere in the country, you're going to be sweating out electrolytes. And that's when it's time to go grab some Element drink mix. It's got 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. No sugar, no junk, everything you need and nothing more to get you back in shape, get you feeling right, keep you moving on down the trail or at work or wherever you may be. And right now, you can go to drinklmnt.com/Ramdino and you can get a free sample pack with any order. And if you don't like your order, keep it, let them know, they'll give you your money back. That's drinklmnt.com/Ramdino. Go and get you some.
Dutch from Australia, he is now in the Smokies after 2 weeks on trail. Says they have a family of 6. Sent in this photo of them enjoying some town food there, and he says the people call them the Motley Crew. Rope Bunny, he is going to get to mile marker 1690 at the Clareton Gorge Suspension Bridge, which has been closed within the next 45 days. And his dad sends in along this bypass that he scouted out for him. So you got one bypass that's going to require you to do more of a shuttle and miss some of the trail, or miss a lot more of the trail than this other bypass that he sends along, where you're still going to have to shuttle, but you're going to be able to stay on trail longer. And so appreciate him sending those in and scouting that out for us. Papa, he is with some friends and sends in his update.
Good morning, Ramdino. It's Papa here. I have Casey and Double Wide, and we are standing at the halfway point. we've done it. It's a beautiful morning. Sun's out. And we're excited to get going. So I hope you all have a great day, and we'll catch you next week.
Boston Straps and OG, they are back together again as a threesome, and they sent in their update from the Shanties.
Hey Ramdino, I'm here with OG and Boston and Straps. Not much to report. We'll be heading into Waynesboro tomorrow, then starting the Shanties, and trail's been in good condition. Virginia's been really nice. Thanks for what you do, and don't worry, we're keeping an eye out for anybody in root bulbs for you.
And ADK, he has made it out of the Smokies, and he sends in his update.
Hey Ramdino, ADK Bill here. I'm on day 14 of my Appalachian Trail Thru-hike. I should be leaving the Smoky Mountains today. Thus far, it's been a great trip. Rain all night. Last night, I stayed through the corner shelter. It just poured all night. So the water sources in the Smokies are now plentiful. There's a lot of blowdowns. A lot of them have been taken care of by the trail maintenance crew. They're trying to get as much of that taken care of as they could. I think they did a great job. There's still a lot that you have to crawl over or go around. As far as norovirus, I haven't seen any, although I have not stayed in the shelters because they had been full. But I did hear from another hiker that there was one instance of a boy having symptoms of norovirus, but he and his father were not filtering water. They were just drinking straight. So don't know if it was Giardia or norovirus. Either way, not a safe thing. Other episodes on the trail that I've heard of is attacking partridges. I guess a couple guys had a partridge fly at them, and one said that it actually pecked its leg. So beware of attacking partridges. So far today, it's been windy and damp, but haven't needed to whip out the umbrella yet. Yesterday I did. But anyway, ADK Bill signing out. Thanks, Ramdino.
And we got an intro this week. So getting late for intros, but Adrian, he is on a bike tour until he gets to Springer, and then he's going to be doing a thru hike. So he's getting a pretty late start. He's not starting till like May 5th or something.
Hello Ramdino, my name is Adrian. I'll be attempting a thru hike of the Appalachian Trail headed northbound from Springer Mountain, May 3rd, 2025. But before I do that, I'll be riding over 700 miles from Southwest Florida to a town just outside of the approach trail. For those of you that would like to follow along, you can search Wander Forward on YouTube. That's where I'll be posting my daily videos. Thank you, Ramdino, for all it is that you do for the hiker community. And thank you all for watching. We'll see you out there.
He's going to get a late start there, but he is going to be interested to see if he got his bike legs translate over into his trail legs. I would imagine you're using some different muscles there. But anyway, he has got to get to Katahdin before it closes. He says he thinks he's going to be able to do that, so we'll see about that. Then some news we got going on out there on the trail, and lots of it. So we got Whispers, our northern correspondent. He reports in regards to the reroute there around the Madison Gulf Suspension Bridge where the AT crosses there. The Peabody River at around mile marker 1,873. He says that there's a quick tip for camping along that route. So about a third of the way up the 19-mile Brook Trail. So if you decide to take that whole detour, you're going to miss the Wildcats, you're going to miss Pinkham Notch. You can get to the highway there, catch a shuttle down to Pinkham Notch, and so still get to do the Notch, still get to do the Wildcats. But if you decide not to do that, and you're not required to do that in order to get your 2,000-miler certification from the ATC, if that's something that's important to you, then if you want to go ahead and take that detour, Then he wanted to let everybody know that about a third of a mile up the 19-mile Brook Trail, once you cross over the highway there and finish a road walk, there's some amazing legal campsites that are in that area. Some of them down by a brook, got some good water sources there, so he wanted to put that out there for everybody that may be taking that. Otherwise, if you just shuttle down to Pinkham Notch, then you'll miss those campsites. Marty, our Iron Mountain Gap correspondent, and the damage that happened up there and now has transitioned to salvage logging operation, he indicates there's still quite a few people that are going through and winding up in the middle of all this heavy equipment working, and that's not a good thing. So you really do at this point need to take that gosh awful official detour. It's gosh awful because of the heck of a hill that Dutchy just talked to us about and told us that you had to climb. The Tennessee Eastman maintainers, they have put in 156 plus steps for you there to make it a little easier. Certainly safer, particularly for Sobo coming down. But it's going to take 3 months for them to finish up the logging operation. And then there's trail work that's got to be done. There's going to be other stuff that has to be done there. That the Forest Service will have to be doing some clearing operations, I'm sure, to get the leaf clutter off the floor and the forest fire floor there, and maybe some reseeding. Don't know about all that yet, but I do know there's going to have to be some trail work done there. So it's going to be more than 3 months, and the Nobo bubble will be through there before all that happens. Marty said there is a Forest Service person there watching over the salvage operations. So if you get caught coming through there, they can fine you, they can imprison you. Hadn't heard of that happening to anybody really ever since I've been doing this, but they can do it. So if you get mouthy with them, then they have the right to do that. Marty did say that part of the reason the National Forest Service personnel felt like that people were still coming through there is because the interactive map on the ATC site is kind of vague. And one of the things is, one of the reasons there is an interactive map, but this one isn't it. But this one's kind of vague too, because it shows the trail as being the bolder red line, and the detour as being the thinner magenta line. So people kind of tend to gravitate toward the bolder line because they feel like that's what somebody's emphasizing. So I know the ATC watches this channel. Maybe you can change that up and make the line for the ATC not as apparent, maybe a dash line, and then make the detour a thick, bold magenta line with the word detour on it along the line, along that trail, that tracing where you're supposed to go, so that people know that that is the detour. Because we really don't want people up there around all that heavy equipment and stuff. That's just not good. There's a big old yellow trail sign up there that says trail closed, that you would think people would understand that, but don't know when that was put up. Maybe that's helped some people here lately, but I do think the ATC needs to change that, and hopefully they will. So some Trail Fest we got coming up. We got Trail Days May 16th through the 18th. It is on for 2025, so that is awesome. They are hiker shuttles to and from Damascus. There's a Facebook page. I'll leave that link down below where you can go, and it's kind of a rider board that people can find rides. There's also Trail Days Ministry Team offers free shuttles north and south of Irwin, Tennessee and Bland, Virginia on Sunday afternoon. So they're getting people away from, out of, getting them back on trail. So you can sign up in advance once you get there to Trail Days at One Way Ministries, which is the church down at the ball field. And they do hiker feeds and have stuff going on down there all the time. And so you can sign up down there. And then also Mountain Links Transit, they're providing a free shuttle to hikers to the Pat Jennings Visitor Center on Monday morning. So Trail Days goes through Sunday. So Monday morning you sign up at the Damascus Trail Center there, and I'm assuming that's the ATC Trail Center. And then I'll leave the Facebook ride board page down below as well. We also got Hot Springs Trail Fest is coming up before that, May 2nd through the 3rd. So that's going to be really, Hot Springs is coming back, and they are starting to recover So it's good to see that they're gonna have that. And then we've got Waynesboro, Virginia Hiker Fest, which is June 6th to the 7th. I'm planning to go to Trail Days. Not sure about the rest of them. One thing that I want to tell you, particularly about Hot Springs and Damascus, is you need to go, even if just for the day. Go to the merchants there and spend money. Go to the outdoor store, spend money. Go to the bike shop, spend money, because the Hot Springs and Damascus are both recovering from Helene. They need your money, folks. They need your support coming in there. And so we want to see them get back to 100% as fast as possible. And so please consider doing that. And if you've been watching the news, you know that we've got some Pennsylvania forest fires, and they are through the, I believe it's pronounced Mishaw. Somebody in Pennsylvania correct me or tell me I got it right. Mishaw Forest. And I was just hiking up there this summer. So that is a gorgeous section of the trail through there. Relatively flat, not a whole lot of elevation gain. Goes through Pine Grove Forest and Caledonia State Park. And my understanding is those were closed during the height of the fire. And that was earlier in the week. They were also evacuating people from there. But now, day before yesterday, they got a really good rain came through there, and so that knocked the fire down considerably. They're letting about 80% of the folks come back. Talked to Mouse Whisperer. She sent me a text, and she is doing a section hike of the whole trail as her health allows her to. But her and her husband, Texoma, they're out there hiking, and she stayed at Iron Mountain Shelter, Iron Masters Mansion. They're at Pine Grove Furnace, and she indicated that they got on their shuttle, and their shuttle took her to the trail. Did have to go around a closed road, but the fire was down enough where the trail is no longer closed. They were stopping people at there at Pine Grove and Caledonia State Park, and we're not letting you hike through that, but I think it's been knocked down enough to take care of that. Probably going to be some air quality issues going through that area. I know there's already some folks that are going through there. Lusious, he's already gone through there, and some other people. So people are coming to that area, particularly if you're on a flip-flop. So just be aware of that. And then the ATs reported a food-conditioned bear at the campsite near a pipe spring there at Jones Meadow, which is at Novi Mile 297. So most of the bubbles through there. There's a few folks that are starting late April, early May, but the bear stole an Ursac and had a clearly defeated previous bear hang. So if you're using a PCT, if you're just using a bear hang that's not PCT, they're gonna be able to defeat that. PCT is harder for them, but if it's not hung properly, 6 feet away from a tree trunk, 10 feet up on a skinny tree that they can climb up this tree and shinny out on that other tree, they have done that, and they will do that. So if you don't have a bear pole there to hang it with that they provided, or bear cables, or a bear box, then just remember, a bear, you need to hang it in a stout tree well away from camp, 100 yards away from camp, and well away from the tree. Not always the easiest thing to do. I get that. I've had problems with that, but anyway, that's there at marker 297. And then I am always up for suggestions about the channel. Had a few suggestions last week about people wanting, suggesting the way I could change the format of my channel and offering stuff that they wanted to hear about first, I'm assuming. And I even had one person tell me that, why don't you do two channels? I mean, two episodes. When you've got news that's life-threatening or dangerous, why don't you do one about that and then do one about your regular update? So I work a 50-hour week. This is not a profession for me. YouTube's not. I do this as a trail angel more than anything. I do this here to build the hiker community, to support the thru-hikers. So one, that's why I do the thru-hikers first, because it's really, I'm wanting to build a hiker community. I'm wanting to support those thru-hikers, and so I'm wanting people to see what they're living out there on the trail, so that maybe they'll want to get out there on the trail someday. But also to support those thru-hikers in their quest for what they're doing. So that's why I do them first, because they're really important, and that was why the channel got started anyway. And then the news, of course, thru-hikers watch this channel, and so I want them to know about the news. I want them to know what they're coming into. I want you as section hikers or day hikers to know that. Or if you can't get out there and trail, you're not able to get out there physically or cause a job or family or what have you, I want you to know what these thru-hikers are coming into. So that's why the news comes up next and not first. And hopefully people are watching all the way to the news so that they can get that portion of it. But the hikers and the hiking community are really what's most important for me. As far as doing 2 episodes a week with my 50-hour job, my mom who has dementia that a lot of people have prayed about and sent me good thoughts and stuff, and I ask you to continue to do that with that, and trying to be a husband and a father, even though my kids are grown, and just trying to keep up with everything else and research I do for the channel. It ain't gonna happen to do two videos a week. Now, that may happen in another 1.5 years when I may be up for retirement, may be up for a part-time job. Not going to retire for a long time, but I may be scaling back the 50-hour work week. But in any case, if you've missed stuff that's going on from previous episodes this year, you can head on over right here to check out this link or whichever direction I have for you. Folks, that's all I got this week. Oh, don't forget, I am going, my hike did not go off this week. However, I'm going to make another attempt this coming weekend. And again, I'm going to be hiking in the middle of August up in Pennsylvania, Rocksylvania, trying to finish that up. Folks, that's all I got. As always, appreciate you, and we'll see you out here.